What is happening, everybody? Derek here from DW Designs, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, subscribe. Love to have you part of the DW Designs team. Well, with that, guys, I'd like to start off with, I apologize, I did not film Friday. I know I said I'd see you tomorrow, but I didn't know that I wouldn't be filming. I decided not to film because it was kind of a run around and get things errand kind of day, and quite frankly, doesn't seem very interesting to me, so I wouldn't want to bore you guys with boring content. So, enough of me rambling on, let's go into the intro. Wow, I just looked at that last clip and man, do I need to trim my beard a little bit. It's getting a little wild. All right, so last Friday, I will tell you what I did. I went out back for the Subaru and took some measurements that we're going to base our CAD design off of as close as we can. And then I got a phone call that the front bumper was all finished, all sandblasted, and done, ready to come back here. So I went and picked that up as well, and I had to make an errand to the bank and a few other things. So yeah, didn't really get a whole lot of time to work on the Subaru bumper. But also, good news. Guess what? The lights came in for the Ford Bronco, and I think they look awesome. So let's go show you guys these lights. So here they are. Got the new lenses on there and housing there and here for the blinkers. That's all he wanted. So I also finalized the fact that we don't have any more water leaks or oil leaks or anything like that. So we checked everything. I went ahead and sucked the water out of the radiator and put coolant in there. I like to put water just to make sure that nothing is leaking, because otherwise it's like a waste of like $30, you know, to fill it up. So I'd just rather not do that, because then I have to pay for it if I mess up. So yeah, no, we're good to go, guys. We're good to go. So we're gonna take that home today at 4 o'clock to its rightful owner. And he was excited when I called him this morning and told him that we are ready to deliver. And he was quite tickled. So, all right, I'm gonna head downstairs real quick, and I'm gonna show you something else I did Friday too. All right, so the other thing that I did on Friday is I went ahead and took these backup sensors out of the bumper. I will warn you guys, they are a little bit tricky to get out. And not to mention, it's not a perfectly round hole. It's kind of like this. Get it to focus. It's like a round hole with like notches in it. It's kind of weird. So that itself is going to add another particularly challenging part of cutting out the metal in a certain way so those things snap in like they do in the bumper, because that's what we want. We want it to be almost like stock, to where if they need to be replaced, it can easily be done. Nothing fancy, no glue, nothing like that is what we're trying to avoid, because who likes dealing with that later? You know, if you want to take them out, then you have to deal with glue, and you have to break them out, and then you have to re-glue them back in, and that's just too much. So, all right, enough of me rambling on here about stuff that I did, because that's pretty much it. So with that, let's head to the office. Let's boot up Bentech. Let's boot up Fusion 360, and let's start playing around with some ideas and seeing what we can come up with. So, see you in the office. All right, so I just now realized something, and that is I didn't get the emailed files of the Subaru scan from last Friday. Not too much of a big deal, guys. It's something new that I'm trying. I'm gonna get those files. We're gonna play around with that for sure. Even though I don't know what I'm doing as far as that goes, but hey, I'm along for the journey, and hopefully you guys are too. And I just realized too that this computer in my office does not do screen recording at the moment. I gotta figure out how I can do that, but I'm not gonna do it today. So don't worry about the quality, please, as I record it with the camera, because it's probably not going to be very well with the camera. Camera never has recorded screens very well. The other issue I noticed too was, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, this is a new computer to me. So it's not the functions and stuff that I don't know how to use. It has nothing to do with that. It's just I had to transfer my software over and all that stuff. And because of that, I lost my die library, my tube library, my plate library, and all the other stuff in Bentech. I thought I had everything transferred over properly, but apparently I didn't. So I'm gonna have to start all over again. So you guys are gonna be coming with me along for that journey. I'll be showing you guys how to find your all the stuff that needs to be basically center line radius for Bentech Pro SE. So you guys might want to stick around for that. If not, won't hurt my feelings, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. But we're gonna have to take care of this first. So all right, with that, let's get to this. So guys, we have Bentech version 7X SE is what I'm using. So as you guys can see, if I click on die library, there is no dies in here other than the one that they provide as an example, and that's not the one that we need. So we're gonna go ahead and close that real quick, open up the die library again, hit add new. I'm going to name it 1 3/4 inch, and then we're gonna do times, which will be by 5.5. So for the tubing size is 1 3/4 inch, and the CLR is 5.5, which is center line radius. So we're gonna enter that, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit wizard. So we're gonna hit next. We're gonna select the bender. We have a JD squared bender, model 32, which is the heavy duty one. So the center line radius, which is 5.5 from center to here to the outside of the die, as you guys can see here. So that's 5.5. So 5.5 inches. We'll hit next. So this here will be 1.7500. That would be 1 3/4 inch. And then we got to decide how long we're going to cut the piece. Let's go ahead and cut it to 20 inches. We're going to mark this. This is where the start of bend will be, right here. So we're going to go ahead and hit 4 inches. So what you're going to do is, just like it says, line up the mark where the start of bend is, bend it to 90 degrees. You will need to have a part when finished is with 1 degree within, 1 degree of 90 degrees. You may need to overbend to compensate for spring back. So what this is going to do, guys, is by doing all this is also going to account for spring back also. Spring back is going to happen no matter what. Metal likes to bend back after you bend it just a little bit, couple degrees at a time. It'll bend back. If you bend it 30 degrees, it might go to 28, sometimes 29. I find with DOM steel, there's usually about 2, sometimes 3 degrees of spring back. So you just have to account for that, bend to that, and then you're good to go. So let me go cut a piece of tube to 20 inches. We'll mark 4 inches. We'll bend 90 degrees. We'll come back in here and enter what it says to enter. So with that, let's get to it. All right, so you guys don't have to go to this extreme necessarily of cleaning the inside up and outside as well as I did, but I like to do it as good practice and good habit. So that way I make sure it happens to every single tube, and then that way you can't accidentally grab, the end of it or something and then cut your finger open if you're not wearing gloves, like I am right now. I didn't take them off, but guys, don't wear gloves while you're working on sanders and stuff. It'll just pull your hand right into it if it gets caught. I should have taken them off, but I didn't. So stupid me and being lazy at the same time. So, all right, I'm gonna clean up this bender. It's really dusty, as you guys can tell. It really needs some love. It hasn't seen love in a while. So let's give it some love and attention and clean it up and oil everything, make sure that it's working all nice and smooth before we do this, so that way we know we're getting good, accurate measurements. So, all right, I'll put you guys on time lapse of me cleaning this up, and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay guys, so we got it all cleaned up, all oiled up. Yes, there's a lot of extra oil on there, but you know what, that's okay for right now because it's been a while since this machine has been oiled, and I want it to soak into the metal a little bit to help prevent the rust, because it started to rust on all the touch points. So we'll just leave it like that, no big deal at all. In fact, it'll help the metal flow through and everything as we're bending, so it'll be completely fine the way it is. So where it will become a problem is if it gets really dusty in here, dust will get all over it and stuck to it again. But it was already like that before, so just have to do the same thing again. That's okay, it didn't take long, take maybe 10 minutes. So, all right, let's mark this piece of 20-inch, 1 3/4, 120 wall DOM tubing at 4 inches, and then let's put it in the bender. Let's bend it to 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly explain as to what we did here. So where we have the starter bend here at 4 inches, after you get 90 degrees, which by the way, we have a perfect 90-degree angle here, not even plus or minus half a degree, it is perfect. And then you stand it straight up and down, and you measure from the flat surface up to here, and you take down that measurement. And all you do is rotate it, take that measurement from here to here, and then you write those numbers down. You convert them into decimal points. So mine, I have with the start of bend side up is 11 5/8, which is 11.625. And then with this down is 12 13/16, which is conversion for 12.8125. You don't have to put the 5. It's 812 thousandths, but 5 is like half a thou. So we're just gonna leave it there because I want precision. So let's go ahead and enter that into the computer. Okay, so it asks us for the first bend measurement. So that's 11.625. So we're gonna go 11.625. We're gonna hit next, and we're gonna enter our 12.8125. Next. So achieved CLR is 5 3/4. Calibrated CLR 6.262. Bend location offset minus 1.3 inches. So this here is the exact CLR of what the computer system tells you what it is. So mine was rated for a 5.5 CLR, but what we achieved actually is a 5.72 CLR. So this is the calibration results, okay? Now, I want to leave it at this because, first of all, that's how my bender works. So I do not want to change it, modify it, or any way, because this is the outcome I'm going to get every single time, no matter what. If I really need a different CLR, I really should get a smaller die and hope that it goes bigger, just like 5.5 inches. Or we'd have to modify our die, which I'm not going to do. There's no sense in doing that whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and click Add Die, enter name for this die. So we're going to pick 1.75" by, and we'll do 5.5. I know it's different, but I just know my die is 5.5. Now this is going to be DOM, okay, 0.125 wall, because if you do a different size tubing, it could change. So like the 1 3/4 120 wall, or 120 wall. See, good thing I caught myself. It has 3 degrees spring back, so I have to go 3 degrees past 90 to get perfect 90. That's the average. So with that being said, if you put a 90.095 wall 1 3/4 in there, you might only have to bend it 1.5 degrees over 90 degrees to get a perfect 90. It just depends on the circumstances. So we'll hit OK. So the die has been added to your library. Okay, boom, done. So what we're going to do is we'll exit out of that. There it is. There's our achieved CLR, calibrated CLR, and all that. Now, if you feel like you need to adjust this, you can. You can manually adjust this here to get a different outcome with how the computer system works. But I want it, like I said, I want it to work exactly as my bender works. So now that it's calibrated, We're going to hit save. Die successfully updated. I'm going to do it again twice. Always do it twice. Go ahead and exit out. All right, guys. Well, that's going to conclude today's episode. I probably will shoot a short video delivering the Bronco today. But other than that, that concludes today's video, guys. This is all I'm going to show you is the CLR setup, because let's see, it's 3:19, and so it's time to get going here pretty soon, because I got to drop it off at his house at 4. So, and my battery's about to die too. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope y'all had a great day, or great night, or great evening, whatever time it is when you guys watch this. And I will see you guys tomorrow.